Hello! So in honor of Madonna's worldwide birthday celebration, I'm going to make a video for each one of the charities in order to raise awareness for them. These are charities that are being helped by the Ray of Light Foundation. So hopefully you can become involved, so you can become inspired to help in various different ways. You can find that one charity that really resonates for your heart and you can help them out. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about Raising Malawi, the one that set the whole ball rolling. Uh, I have a special place in my heart for Raising Malawi because Raising Malawi is the organization that got me to study Kabbalah. And in the process, it helped me transform as a human being. You don't have to study Kabbalah to be a Madonna fan, but it's what helped me. So that's the one I'm starting with. And it's also the one that got the ball rolling. So it's honorable to give them attention first and foremost. So Raising Malawi was started in 2005 by Madonna and Michael Berg. Michael Berg most notably works for the Kabbalah Center. He's one of the leaders at the Kabbalah Center. He is the son of Rob Berg, an amazing human being, an amazing teacher. And so what happened was Madonna received a call from Victoria Keelan, who is an underground nonprofit humanitarian angel that words cannot describe the magnitude of light that Victoria Keelan has. So she called Madonna and she said to her, "There's a state of emergency. You're a person with resources. Can you help Malawi?" Madonna was like, "Where's Malawi?" Victoria was like, "Look it up on a map," and hung up on her. You can get the whole story at I Am Because We Are. The full documentary that Madonna produced is right at the bottom. Yes, you can watch the full documentary at the bottom. So highly recommend it. So what happened was Madonna went to Malawi. She was a little taken aback. She went to Malawi, found out that yes, it was a state of emergency. There were orphans taking care of orphans. There were cities of orphans. Their parents had died because of AIDS, malnutrition, and various different elements. And culturally, and there was just horrible things that were happening to children. It was just a giant mess. It was just a giant, giant mess. So Madonna went in and started helping with Home of Hope. Home of Hope is an organization. It's a pretty decent sized place where children oftentimes are running around taking care of other children because, like I mentioned before, it literally became a country of orphans. It literally became a country of orphans. So what ended up happening was that she ended up helping out there, and in the process, now we're going to talk about the controversy. We're going to bring it up. We're going to address it. So what ended up happening was Madonna was trusting the Kabbalah Center to trust the government official, and the Kabbalah Center was trusting the government officials on the ground to be able to do the work that they were asked to do. So what the government officials were not doing the work. They were skimming off the top. So they were taking money that wasn't theirs to take. And people in Malawi saw this, and they saw the level of corruption that was happening. So that's why they chose a new president, and that's why they chose a new government. And this recently happened, and kudos to the Malawian people for being able to make that choice. But what ended up happening was that it made the Kabbalah Center look bad. It made Raising Malawi look bad. It made them seem like they didn't know what they were doing. So what Madonna decided to do is she decided to pull the plug. Pull the plug in the sense of like, okay, I can't, the Kabbalah Center is trusting government officials with, it's just making Raising Malawi look bad. So she separated herself. The Kabbalah Center and Raising Malawi parted ways. Madonna hired an organization, a nonprofit organization, a nonprofit company that manages various amazing charities that are doing amazing work. So she hired them to be able to do the work, and they've been doing an amazing job. Global Fund, I believe that the name of the company that's basically managing Raising Malawi, but amazing job. And I'll tell you a little bit about the amazing job that they're doing. So since the Kabbalah Center and Raising Malawi have parted ways, Madonna has built 10 schools. She is currently building a hospital in Malawi to be able to help the children, because there's some stories in I Am Because We Are that really they really touch at your heart. They really you just every time I watch it, I weep and shatter, emotionally shatter, because this happened to children, and it's a strong documentary, but I highly recommend it. So that's what happened. And sorry, I got lost off track. So now she's building, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it, she's building 10 schools. She's building a hospital with a global fund. Build On is involved with Raising Malawi, where they're working together to be able to, and Madonna has had conversations with various other organizations as to seeing how they can work together in Malawi to help build an amazing infrastructure. Most recently, Malawi was struck by insane floods. So I'm not sure what the state of the schools is. I'm not sure what the state of the whole situation is from Raising Malawi standpoint. And I would love for someone on the ground in Malawi to be able to document, like, are the schools okay? Are the kids okay? What's the deal with the hospital? What's happening with that? And how the flood impacted that whole situation. So that's what is happening now with Raising Malawi. I think that Raising Malawi is really moving forward and doing some amazing, amazing work. And now that more fans understand what the situation was, and this is also a plea to the Kabbalah Center students. I know that the Raising Malawi is no longer a project of the center, but we cannot abandon orphans twice. That's just not a thing that Kabbalah Center students do. So I think that in order for the Kabbalah Center to branch out and to help in various different ways, I think perhaps the Kabbalah Center should consider, making donations to Raising Malawi on a public basis. I know that privately there's various funds that certain students are still passionate about with Raising Malawi, but from a public perspective. And I think it's also important for maybe the Kabbalah Center to open up to various other charities to help Heifer International, whatnot. That's a whole other video. But so back to Raising Malawi. So what is happening now with Raising Malawi? What is happening now with Raising Malawi is there's some people that are coming up with some amazing ideas to be able to help. I'm not to pat myself on the back, but I created something so that, funds could be revenued for Raising Malawi. And these are my kids. These are my kids. It's called I Am because no, it's not called I Am because we are. See, I live and breathe Raising Malawi some days. This is called Peace and Love Rally, and Peace and Love Rally is these little monsters, these little characters, and they all have their own little quirks and their own little things that is happening with them. And I created this brand to be able to help Madonna, with not just Raising Malawi, but the various different other organizations that she's working on. It's still a little brand, I still growing. So one day I know that we're going to be able to revenue a great deal of funds so that we can put some of the Raising Malawi kids through college and bring them over here and study technology and whatever they want to study. So go beyond the technical school elements. I would love to go to Malawi and just teach people how to screen print t-shirts or fabric. It would just, words can't explain what would happen to me when I went to Malawi. I think that there's a kinship when I watch I Am Because You Are, and the joy that the Malawian people bring into the world is just, speechless. And that's tough for me because I talk a lot. So that's that, Raising Malawi. What are you going to do to help Raising Malawi for Madonna's? And I have a show, secret show, can't tell you where it is. Only by invitation. So if you want an invitation, show me what you got. Maybe I'll give you one. It's in California. That's clue number one. But you can do something. You can have a tea party. You can have a wine tasting. We've had runway shows. We've had salon days. Some amazing, amazing fans have gotten involved, and we've had amazing things happen. And I hope that as a fan, and I want to let you know that if you really want to give something to Madonna that will really, get those waterworks growing and get that whole, that element going, nonprofit work, helping out her nonprofit work. I know that you can, call her the queen and you can love her and you can, send her love in many various ways. But trust me, building an infrastructure for the future through education, through creative arts, through empowering children, those are the things that really are like a Christmas to her. So I highly recommend that you get involved in the worldwide birthday celebration, and maybe you make your own video about what charity you're passionate about. So let me know, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful year. Take care.